Yeah, in this video, I want to show you some examples of the homework, data homework for the weekend. Here is the first one where you're asked to write the given equation in standard form. Okay, so standard form. The standard form looks like this. It looks like this. Ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. There's a 0 on the right side and all the other terms on the left side. The first term has the x squared, and then the second term has bx, and the third term is just a number, constant number. So if you look at this right now, there's an x on the right side. We don't want that. We want a 0. So this is quite an easy one. So what we need to do first is to subtract 3x from both sides, okay? We're going to subtract 3x from both sides, so minus 3x. Now, the cool thing about it is that it's not hard. All you need to do is to, whatever you are subtracting or adding, you need to do it in the corresponding terms. You have to combine like terms together. So I did minus 3x on the right side. I need to go to the left side and do negative 3x over there. So now it's going to look like this. This is going to cancel, and you're going to have a 0. Yay, we're happy. That's what we want, a 0 on the right side. And then you're going to have negative 6x, because negative 3 plus negative 3 is negative 6, minus 9 plus 5x squared. But you say we have a 0 on the right side, so we are done? No, not quite. We need to rewrite it so that it looks like the x squared term is first, followed by the x term, and followed by the number. So we need to have this 5x squared first, and then into the first term. So it will be 5x squared, followed by the negative 6x, and then followed by the negative 9 equals 0. Just shifting them around to look like the standard form, like here. Okay, and that's pretty much what it is. The next example has not just x on the right side, but has an x squared on the right side as well. So we're going to try to move everything on the right side to become 0. So there's an x, we'll do a negative x. There's a negative 3x squared, we'll do plus 3x squared. All right, that's the right side. And now the left side, we have to do this same thing on the left side, but under the corresponding term. So the negative x is going to come over here, but the 3x squared has nothing to put, so we put it like somewhere over here. Oh, it's a plus, okay? And then we draw the line. This is going to cancel, that's going to cancel. You're going to have 0 left. That's what you're after. And then there's going to be a 3x squared. And then the 3x and the negative 3x will combine to be negative 4x. And then minus 12. That's about it. And that's your final answer that you type into the box there. This is in the standard form. Okay, now we get to the second part of the assignment. They ask you to solve equation by factoring. All right, so your step 1 is to write in standard form. Step 1 is to write in standard form. Rewrite in standard form, which by now you have got tons of practice from the first skill. So we're going to do that, and then step 2 is to factor. Step 2 is to factor, and then step 3 is to apply the zero product property. Apply the zero product property like we talked about in class. You can look at your note. Oh, property. I said product. Property. Okay, so property. All right, I'm going to show you all 3 steps with this problem. Okay, step 1. Write in standard form. We do the opposite. We want a 0 on the right side. So plus 6x plus 6x. And then now we're going to have a 0. We're happy. And then we're going to have x squared. This is 8 and 6 is 14x plus 45. Okay, we've done step 1. It's in standard form. We're going to factor this. Okay, we're so going to break this into 2. So we'll be on the 145, okay? So if I make a list of 45, so say 45, and I have 1 and 45, 5 times 9 is 45. 3 times 15 is 45. So the only one that will make 14 is this one, and it's a plus. So we have 5x and 9x. And then if we make a little table, we're going to see that x squared, 5x, 9x, and then 45. The GCF on this row is x, and the GCF here is 9. And then x times x makes x squared, and x times 5 makes 5x. So we have our factors. Those are our factors. So we're going to write like this: x plus 5, x plus 9 equals 0. Which now we have factored now. So step 2 is done. And then we're going to apply the zero product property that says that if two things make 0 when you multiply them, either the first one, x plus 5 equals 0, or the second one, x plus 9 equals 0. And then now we're going to write this as -5 on both sides to solve for x. X equals -5. -9x, sorry about that. So s equals -9. So your final answer to this is going to be -9, -5. I will show you how to, well, I hope you know how to type this onto the delta math box, okay? All right. I'll do one more example, maybe 2. Okay, here's another one. You have this given to us. We're going to do all the 3 steps. We're going to write in standard form: minus x squared plus 7x equals 0. All right, this is a binomial. So you're going to remember what we did before. We're still going to factor. So we're going to factor this. How do we factor a binomial like that? Okay, you remember way back, what you do is look for GCF. So this is x squared, is x and x, and then this is x is just x, and then 7 is 1 and 7. Okay, so the GCF here is x, only x is common, so we're going to do x parentheses x plus 7 equals 0. All right, so we're going to do ZPP now, zero product property. Either this x is equal 0, because it's 2 things multiplying still. This is a factor, another factor. All right, I will highlight the factors. This first factor is x, and the second factor is x plus 7. There are 2 of them. Even though they don't look like the same form, there are still 2 factors. Okay, so now all you need to do now is to set the first factor equals 0, or the second factor equals 0. This is done. X equals 0 is done. But we need to subtract 7 from both sides here, so x equals -7. So there are 2 answers, 0 and -7. All right? This involves factoring binomial. The next one is interesting. So we're going to do the first step. Write in standard form: plus 2x minus 4 plus 2x minus 4. This is going to cancel. It's going to become 0 on the right side. And then this is going to cancel as well. We're going to be left with x squared minus 16 equals 0. And then by recognition of difference of squares, we have been talking about difference of squares in class, difference of squares, which says that if you have a squared minus b squared, it's same thing as a plus b, a minus b, something like that. So this is like this difference of squares. It's going to be x minus 4 or x plus 4, it doesn't matter, and x minus 4 equals 0. We have just factored difference of squares. Okay, so you are going to apply ZPP now. Zero product property, x plus 4 equals 0, or x minus 4 equals 0. Subtract 4 from both sides, s equals -4. Add 4 to both sides, s equals 4. And your final answer is -4 and 4, written in set notation and typed into the box. All right, so that's about it. I hope this helps some of you that are maybe struggling. And if you're not struggling, then you're cool. Just remember the steps. I'll see you in class. Remember to get high on math, not on math.